Hi everyone, welcome to a new episode of Crypto Tips. My name is Heidi, and today we are going to take a look at what happened with Iron Finance. Was it a bank run? Was it a rug pull? And exactly how Mark Cuban was affected or involved in that situation. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's get into it. Okay, so here's a rough timeline of events. March of this year, Iron Finance is launched. Shortly after, there was a few hiccups, maybe some users, their rewards weren't showing up correctly, what have you. Again, things to be expected in a newly released code, a new protocol being used by users, right? There's going to be some bugs, there's going to be some issues. And then on June 13th of this year, after Mark Cuban had went public, and he's pro Polygon, he's into DeFi, he's like trying to be the next cool guy, next celebrity, who's really into cryptocurrencies or whatever. He wrote a really long blog post on June 13th, and he featured Iron Finance in there amongst other things as well, but he definitely mentioned Iron Finance specifically. June 17th. A few days later, there was a lot of activity with whales on this protocol with their liquidity pools, and basically the pools were drained. The pegged stablecoin called Iron lost its peg to the US dollar, and also the native token Titan went from like $64 down to $0 now, which is where it stands. Actually, it's like 0.000001 cent. So how did this happen, right? For those of you who want the post-mortem report from the Iron Finance team themselves, I've included a link to that down below in the video description, so you can check that out. So this event really revolves around a somewhat unique way to achieve a stablecoin matched with, quite frankly, not a very well thought out way to whoever created the tokenomics of Titan and of Iron. It wasn't really thought out. The same can be said by those who are participating on the liquidity pools for this token, as well as those who were just holding the coins too. They were all affected. And in my opinion, you really have to take a look at the tokenomics, see how the incentive models are lined up, how the supply affects the price, how you can qualify to affect the supply. And if you're not paying attention to things like that, the situation is not uncommon by any means. There's been a lot of hiccups, but for those who were participating in it, most likely they're doing so just because, it's one of those DeFi coins, there's a lot of hype, maybe there's some money to be made, and their greed took over, the analytics of what they really should have been looking at. So if you are the kind of person who is able to learn from other people's mistakes, this is that moment. So more specifically, there are really two main reasons why, or actually three main reasons why this happened. First being how their stablecoin achieved their stability using something called collateral ratio. Basically, they had a stablecoin called Iron. It's currently Iron, it still exists. And the stability was achieved by kind of piggybacking on the stability already achieved by USDC. And then that ratio basically is made up of USDC and their native token called Titan. And that addition of Titan is what kind of set this thing off the rails, because Titan isn't a stable coin. It is a coin that fluctuates in price, and adding that into something that's supposed to be stable, it led for a lot of wiggle room for that stable coin. And actually, many stable coins actually do lose that peg to the dollar that they're trying to achieve. It's happened to Tether, it's happened to a lot of different stable coins, especially during extreme times of volatility. People are either pouring into that stable coin and it pumps the price up, or they're withdrawing like crazy and it drops the peg below. But this one, it dropped quite significantly, and it scared a lot of investors. It affected people who were participating as liquidity providers for these liquidity pools. Another thing that facilitated this bank run or rug pull, what have you. It's probably not a rug pull, but they're calling it a bank run, the Iron Finance team, obviously. We're going to have to see how that audit goes, because they are calling for a third party to go through it. I would love to see any kind of transparency on really what had happened. A lot of rug pulls are enveloped in no transparency, and the developers just abandoned the project. So the other thing that led to this situation to even be able to occur is their time weighted average price, TWAP. This is their oracle that helped keep in check the peg to the stablecoin, right? Now this oracle functions, it takes into account every 10 minutes. And so because this volatility kicked in so quickly, 10 minutes is all that was needed to really, all these holders of Titan, all of these people participating in the liquidity pools, it only took 10 minutes for them to lose faith in that and to abandon ship. Now what happened, this volatility, where did this volatility come from? Well, you gotta love it when whales step in and they see vulnerabilities like this. They see an opportunity to really test the protocol, to test the tokenomics of these coins, and they were able to do so. They were able to affect the price in such a way that, they dropped the peg of the stablecoin, they pumped the price of Titan, they took profits from Titan, and again, with that 10-minute delay of the oracle being able to keep this stuff in check, the price tanked. Basically, the supply of Titan flooded the market. There weren't nearly enough people willing to buy it, especially then when the price starts to tank. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy at that point. So this is a reminder for you all that, the cryptocurrency markets move very quickly, not only in developments, but price-wise as well. If you've ever witnessed a flash crash on a particular exchange, there you go. That's a great introduction to exactly how quickly things move. Also, unlike traditional stock markets and things, the cryptocurrency market doesn't have any kind of a freeze or halt function. The market is going to play itself out in any direction it's going to go. So here's another risk that I think many people are learning. Hopefully they learned them if you were around in 2017 when the ICO phase and Mike Tyson and everyone and their mother was trying to, promote an ICO, a scammy ICO. The year 2020, 2021, they're out again. And the risk that people are learning is don't take financial advice of whatever a celebrity is deciding to throw their name behind. Don't allow a celebrity name to influence how you are choosing to invest in a coin. Reason being, if you were following Elon on Bitcoin, you got burned because most likely you're those people who are buying at the top of the market because Elon was name dropping Bitcoin all the time. We had Elon Musk again with Dogecoin. And then now here we have Mark Cuban. He's endorsing pretty much Polygon, which, I think Polygon is a pretty legit platform, albeit new as well. It's certainly, if you want to know basically my thoughts on Matic or Polygon, I've done 2 videos on it. I'll be linking them up here in the little icon that pops up, as well as down below in the video description. And now, he threw his name behind Iron Finance. And Here's the thing, is just because a celebrity is name dropping a cryptocurrency, that doesn't mean jack. That doesn't mean that they actually, respect their own weight in, the public's view. They don't respect the fact that a lot of people are going to be following them down that road. They're not going to be telling people when they're selling because, quite frankly, any celebrity that is name dropping a cryptocurrency is most likely doing so to serve their own self-interest, right? And most likely you are going to be the person, if you're falling for it, holding their bags as they take off with profit, and you're left hoping that it's actually a legitimate project. Now, here's the thing about Mark Cuban and Iron Finance, right? I'm going to go ahead and read a quote that he said about the situation. He says, "Even though I got rugged on this, it really was on me for being lazy. The thing about DeFi plays like this is that it's all about revenue and math, and I was too lazy to do the math to determine what the key metrics were." He was too lazy to actually research the coin that he himself was investing in. But the most important part is he was too lazy to do that research before he opened his big mouth and told everyone about it, and again, really disrespecting his own platform that he had and the amount of faith that people have in celebrities, which is really unfortunate. Also, a heads up, talking about celebrities shilling coins, Kim Kardashian is now shilling Ethereum Max, which is definitely a Ponzi scheme, so please don't fall for that one either, guys. So, if you're left wondering how the heck if a DeFi protocol or platform is safe, if you don't know how to do that kind of deep dive research on a platform, I highly recommend that you go to to DeFiSafety.com. That one gives you a really good rundown of all these different DeFi platforms, where they're falling short, what they can do to make things better. And if you're really, a big fan of this platform and you go on that website and you see that your platform is at like 40%, take a look at what they need to work on. And again, if you're paying attention to that platform, see if they do any effort to achieve that, to make it better, to make it more secure, more transparent, whatever they can. That's something that you should definitely pay attention to. Additionally, for those of you who are into this farming, liquidity providing things, definitely look at rugdoc.io, rugdoc.io. That one is run by a woman named Leah. I will be interviewing her soon, hopefully, and she does a lot of deep dives on code. She's been analyzing a lot of these farming platforms, liquidity platforms for a while. So she's definitely, I think, has her finger on the pulse of DeFi and can, I'm sure she's seen a lot of trends lately. And anyway, that's two really good resources for you to become a much more educated investor in cryptocurrency, especially if you're planning on actually participating on those platforms to earn liquidity rewards to get passive income that way. Because there's definitely two different ways you can participate in DeFi. You can just, buy the coin that is the native coin of that platform. With Uniswap, you have the Uniswap token. With Aave, you have Aave. With this one, with Iron Finance, you had Titan. And if you're holding on to that one from $64 down to nothing. And I don't think that one is going to be very quick to recover whatsoever after this. I really believe a lot of that relies on this report that's going to come out from the audit from this third party that they're organizing with. And also, are they going to change the tokenomics? Are they going to change up how this how this stablecoin is achieving its stability? One to look out for. But in the meantime, there are plenty of actually legit platforms that you can, much more legit platforms, I should say. Nothing is guaranteed here in the cryptocurrency space. So if you want, like Aave, Compound, those are, I think, some solid ones as well if you want to check those out. But anyway, that's going to wrap it up for today's video. If you guys enjoyed this or found it helpful, hopefully this one will leave you a much more educated investor and stay away from those rug pulls and stay away from those scams. So anyway, if you enjoyed this, please leave a like and hit subscribe if you haven't yet to get more videos like this when they come out. I'll be coming to you again very soon. Until then, I hope you're staying happy and healthy. See ya.